Well, hello there. I probably sound a little crazy. Still a little hoarse from the event. I missed last Monday because I was out sick. Get down sick and then traveled and then run around, face mask on, trying to talk to everybody in a loud environment. So pushed my voices very hard. I was going to go out to dinner with people last night, but after the last day of PAX Unplugged, but I made the decision rest up a little bit. Otherwise, I would have had no voice today, and we would have missed. So, welcome to the library. We are Alexandria RPG, non-profit role-playing game library. If you don't know who we are, we travel around to events. We were just at PAX Unplugged. That's our last event for a while. I think our next thing is in February. But we will still be doing plenty of fun stuff here on the interwebs, or the net hubs, or whatever you want to call it. One of these days we'll settle on a name for this thing. We want to replace books with it. I'm just being silly, people. I'm your chief librarian, David. Not a real librarian, I just LARP as one. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go over some cool things that were donated. We got two things to cover that I was going to show last week. Let's see. First one. Of course I get it all cattywampus as I pick it up. We were donated a couple 3D printers. So we will start playing around with some STL files and everything, which I'm kind of excited for. So we're coming into the 21st century. The next of old donations, same as the printer. This game is called Fortress, so it's a Canadian role-playing or board game. But hang on a second. Pardon me. This game is called Fortress. So Fortress came out in the mid-'80s, and And a lot like Hero Quest, there's a lot of gamers that use this as a basis to play a lot of tabletop RPGs. Because here you go, here's a really good map. There were 2 boards in this. They were each a little different. You had actually very small rules. All your add-ons and XP and the like. Dice and tokens, and then a boatload of old school minis, which are really hard to see. But you would have a team of 4 characters, and that you would be controlling to maneuver around the board to fight the other players. So, very different take, but it was a way that a lot of people got individuals into playing role-playing games. And if they had monster minis, they would slowly start introducing the players, like, hey, instead of beating up on each other, how about we each just choose one, make a character, and then we move on, and the like. So those are the 2 things that we got donated last week before I got sick. And now let's look at what the handful of things I brought back from PAX Unplugged, because there's a ton more that's coming back with the library. So the library got all packed up, is being shipped back. It's really cool. We're excited about that. But here's some really awesome stuff. So, Vast Grim. Vast Grim is a Morkborg style RPG, but the gentleman that started is he's a sculptor. That's one of the things I really like about the Morkborg, is because it is such a unique style and it's a really slimmed down, simple rules. You get a lot of people that are making their own stuff. He cited as Beware of Worms. But, I mean, it's really pretty and also creepy at the same time. But so it's a sci-fi version of Morkborg. But really cool aesthetics and definitely worth a look. So, Vast Grim. And at his booth, he had some of the sculptures that so he played Morkborg with a friend and then went home and made a sculpture that was out of his norm. And he goes, it wasn't very Morkborg, but it was very Morkborg sci-fi. So he's like, oh man, I need to create a game for this. And that's where he said Vast Grim came from. On the Morkborg aesthetic. Here's the special edition of Pirate Borg. So they gave us the collector's cover and the regular cover of Pirate Borg, and this is super awesome. Love the story behind that. We're gonna get the creator on in the next couple months to chat about how this book came about, and now Free League is going to actually be printing this as well, which is super awesome. Let's see. We're going to go with one more Morkborg game. So this is compatible with Morkborg. Now, if you notice, it's not Morkborg size, because you can see the Pirate Borg is the same size as the Morkborg book. Darkest Rock. It is about a giant cave. So he wanted to make a giant Morkborg book, and he signed it, and it's neat because it goes in about the lettering. But it's a giant cave that you're attacking, going through, and it's super cool. I dig it a lot, and I like the fact that he went with a bigger book to represent the size. And it's funny is the cave, you can see the Darkest Rock here is a walking cave. He actually has large miniatures that you can buy of his cave, or the Darkest Rock, which is really cool. See, how big is Cyborg? Cyborg is the same size book as the Morkborg and Cyborg book. So it's this small digest style, but it's about the same thickness as the Pirate Borg here. So for everybody, the question was asked, how big is Cyborg? And Cyborg is almost all the Morkborg stuff. Well, all of the Morkborg stuff until I saw this is all that same size book. Let's see. So met a nice game designer at PAX Unplugged. Spencer Campbell has a variety of games. He donated some. I forgot to get him to sign them. I'm fired. I don't know much about him because I was crazy busy this weekend. But he does want to come on and have a chat. So, Light Beacon Edition, Slayers, and Nova. Hopefully with those names and the name Spencer Campbell, you should be able to find these. Can you start fire yourself? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, produced by Spencer Campbell and Gila RPGs. Gila. As in like the little Gila monster. And then this is from Weirdworks. This is their the 5th edition rules to run a 0 level stuff for 5e. So complete rules for adventuring as commoners in 5e. Awesome. I've been a huge fan of the 0 level stuff. Even when I was a kid, there was some side rules to do 0 level, start off with a 0 level funnel in 1st edition. And then, oh, hey, thank you very much for the follow there. So in 1st edition, yeah, there were some rules and an expansion for being able to play 0 levels. So these guys have came out with some cool stuff so you can do 0 level for your 5e games. But what's even cooler is they also have... Oh, this is for Dungeon Crawl Classics, Tournament of Pigs. Semi-competitive 0 level adventure box set. So there's a whole bunch of... You have a... Oh man, hang on. Yeah, 0 level, the 0 level stuff has been... Dungeon Crawl Classics has done a great job of bringing 0 level back. So, this is your rules for Tournament of Pigs. This is really for the GM, not the players. And you've got your... Here's your Coliseum. Here's one of your commoners, the little standees, and then an owlbear. You can see how big a difference there are. Look at that. That is awesome. There's just tons of standees. There's little carts of chickens. There's undead fae and fairies. There's traps, and so the grease grab. So it tells you on one side what it is, so that you know what it is when you're looking for it. I can't wait to play this. This looks like a blast, and it's a cool box set. And it was funny because right before we were donated this, somebody had come into the library asking about, yeah, my voice is all messed up from this weekend. Because I had a cold last Monday, and as I was recovering was the start of PAX Unplugged, and then all weekend there was a masked event, so it's loud in there, talking loud through a mask, trying to talk to everyone. Just killed what I had for a voice. So we actually had somebody asking about a setting like this before this was donated, but I definitely look forward to taking that to events and letting people play. And that's all the books and stuff that I brought back. We got a ton more stuff that was donated that will be showing up the next couple weeks with the library as PAX is awesome and helped ship the library. But one more thing to show you So our friends over at Lethal Shadow Minis, they released, I mean, they're constantly releasing new minis. If you like minis, go and look up Lethal Shadows. They're making stellar minis, and we're going to be painting some. WizKids also donated a bunch of minis to us, and they should be getting us some unpainted minis that I can paint on stream. And Lethal Shadows just released new paintbrushes. So these are cool little brushes. They got their logo on them, really tiny, but you can take off the tip, so you can take it apart and replace the tip. Currently, they have a 0 and a number 1 tip, and then you can kind of do some adjustments back here to really dial it in a little bit. But it's awesome that you'll be able to, and you can have a nice. These are awesome aluminum brushes. They feel good in the hand. They really do. So if you don't know, I used to paint armies back in the day for other people. So I'd paint 300, 400, 500 models at a time, and having a nice brush is great. And these feel wonderful. So as long as they keep up good, can we get a link? Oh, actually, let me look, see if I didn't look, see if they have them on their website. Let me look. And they also, I didn't grab one, but I definitely I need to get one and show it off. They're new. So a bunch of different companies have gotten these cool things, that hold minis. We used to just blue tack minis onto like bottle tops and stuff. So they have their paint scepter. It's all made out of aluminum and everything. It'll hold a variety of different sizes, and then you can actually adjust the handle, and then it also has a hole and a base, so you can actually set it standing up. I don't see the brushes on their website. They have their own paints. They released some new paints this weekend. Yeah, it doesn't look like they have the brushes up on their website yet, but they do have the pre-order for the handle. The handle is pretty badass. It's $60, which is honestly, for the quality of it, is a really good price. And I need to play with their paints. I know what is it? WizKids also is releasing a paint line, and they're working with what's it called? One of the major paint companies that I like. I can't think of them all of a sudden. Vallejo. So, but as soon as these go live, that people can get them. Army? What do you mean by Army? Oh no, not Army Painter, but Vallejo. Yeah. So as soon as I can get you a link to these, I'll put out a link so that everybody can check these out, because they are really, really well weighted. I just played with them a little bit at the show, and people picked them up and just were like, "Oh God, it's a really well done paintbrush." I'm super impressed, and they're going to work on getting more tips out and everything. The tips currently are all synthetic. So I know some people want the sable brushes and stuff, and they may get to the point where they make tips like that in the future, or maybe easy enough that you may be able to make your own brush tips. I don't know. I haven't played with them that far because I just got home today. So I left Philadelphia at 5 o'clock this morning. Got home and took a nap, and then prepped the stream. Okay, let's get into looking at some. It's not a lot of news. Yeah, painting is awesome. It's like, even if you're bad at painting, it's fun to see taking a model and, putting colors onto it to make it something in your own imagination. So I'm happy that the WizKids guys, I mean, their model quality has gotten so much better over the years. I mean, their new models are actually really good. So I'm happy that they're doing unpainted ones. Okay, so I thought this would be funny to go through. Gift ideas for the Game Master who has everything. This is just kind of a silly walkthrough. So, condition cards. Condition cards are a popular choice because players and Game Masters often forget what conditions mean in 5th ed. These cards are easy to interpret graphics on one side and text on the reverse. Just hand them to the player to keep them handy for the DM when a monster is under multiple effects. So, really neat idea. Oh yeah, wet palettes are a lot of fun. Wet palettes is definitely getting a wet palette. So I'm going to be setting up, because we don't have anything until February. So I've got a space right next to me I'm getting cleared out. I'm going to put a paint station there. I'm going to get my air compressor moved down here. I got to figure out how to work that so that I'm probably not going to airbrush on stream. I'll probably do the airbrush stuff as like little video techniques, things that I can like kind of mute and do voiceover later type thing. But I have a large air compressor. We used to run 6 or 8 brushes off of it. It's like a 25-gallon air compressor. And I never got too much into wet palettes in general. I had them, and I would use them from time to time because you can do wet blending and really cool stuff. But we're gonna do a paint stream so that we can talk about stuff while painting, and we can go over techniques and tips and stuff. Because there's all kinds of things that you can do that I've got to relearn so that I can talk to everybody about it. Because I haven't painted too many minis in the last, 10 years. So, let's see. So, you got the condition cards here. A customizable answers disc. A fidget wheel. Sometimes you want randomness in your response. This fidget wheel is an easy way to come up with random answers to spells like augury or divination spells. The players may not be happy about it, though. So, these are just silly little gift ideas for GMs. Cantrip monsters. Does your game master have a cat? Are you playing D&D? Does the cat hate monsters as much as you? You can now enlist felines to your side with these plush toys. Okay, hang on. I gotta actually look at these. Oh, jeez. They're little plushy catnip toys. That is kind of adorable. Hopefully it'll keep your cat busy while you're playing. Foldable battle mats. So, how are they foldable? Okay, it's just standard foldable battle mat. A drinking horn. I have one, but mine doesn't have a horn, the handle on it. Mine doesn't have a flat base either, but it's got a thing it's got a stand. The D&D travel bag. You can take books, laptop, acrylic, blah, 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 blah. I love how they, you can take all the stuff. So I discovered I have, this one is less annoying to me. So these giant bags that people put board games and everything in. So this one is, it goes over the shoulder. So you're going to have it like on your side, most likely, and you'll notice it more. But the people with the ones that are now backpacks, and they're walking around, they got 3 foot of board games and RPGs on their back and just bashing the heck. I watched a poor kid get taken out at PAX Unplugged this weekend. Guy saw something turn. A little kid was kind of not quite in a run, and just bam, little kid on the floor. He was okay, but Okay, Paizo releases Drift Hackers Player's Guide. When Paizo comes out with a new adventure path for Pathfinder or Starfinder, they also like to put out a new player's guide that lets you create characters tailor-made to said adventure path. I'll be honest, I didn't know about that. That's actually really cool. So, they're putting out their player's guides for drift hackers. That's cool. They're doing it, like, Paizo's doing some cool stuff. Man, the amount of people I talked to this weekend that I cannot wait to talk about stuff. Oh, we had so many good meetings. There's companies that want to do cool stuff with us. We may be getting dice and enamel pins and everything. So many things I can't talk about yet. So, if you are into draft hackers and you like Paizo, look for their player's guide. So, Nightfall Games will be hosting the PDFs on their Drive-Thru RPG site, and will be at Dragon Meet 2022 showing off the new book. Why do I feel like this was... Oh, okay, this was just the other day. So, they're finally putting the Hellboy stuff into PDF. This came out earlier this year. And it's based on 5e, so it's easy to pick up. And if you like the Hellboy world, it's not bad at all. I do have a bit of a frustration because I do say, 3E and 5E didn't do modern well. But if you're doing Hellboy, trying to stay out of, gun combat, and you're doing more of the investigation and stuff, the 5E system is going to work perfectly fine for it. So I'm excited to see this because this is going to open it up for some people to go, jump into it, and I think they have quick start guides and everything. So I know that this article's from a month or over a week ago, but Blade Runner will be releasing on the 13th. We got our copy from the Kickstarter last week. We took it to PAX Unplugged this weekend. It was funny because doors didn't open until 10, but people were allowed into where we were at to sign up for games an hour early. So after they signed up for games, they came in and they looked around. Well, they saw I had the Blade Runner stuff out already, and they didn't tell anybody, but Free League had Blade Runner stuff for sale. So people ran up to the Free League booth because they saw we already had it and said, "Oh my God, hey, I'm looking for Blade Runner." And they were like, "We didn't even tell anybody we were selling it." And they'd seen it down in the library an hour before doors open. I'm a little sad that they didn't sell, because they sold out of like everything else. So I think maybe they probably should have put out the word that they were going to do a pre-release basically of Blade Runner. And good on them, because they also made sure like everybody that did the Kickstarter either had their books already or they had a shipping date. So everybody that did a Kickstarter already had it or had it on the way before this. Unlike some companies that will announce new things or be selling the game and their Kickstarters haven't been fulfilled. So if you like Blade Runner, and this is actually really, I was looking through this a bunch this last week when I was sick. It looks really good. It does. The box set is pretty awesome. The box set is really good. And Free League, so we got the shiny cover edition for the Kickstarter, and they gave us a normal cover edition to keep in the library. And it is not a cyberpunk game. It's cyberpunk noir. So you're in a cyberpunk world dealing with cyberpunk stuff, but you're investigators. So you're playing, a cop. You're hunting down replicants and stuff. There's a ton of missions in there. It's super awesome. There's a lot of stuff they could do for this, and there's not enough detective-based games out there. I think there should be a lot more. Okay, for the people that tune in that need self-control and stay away from crowdfunding, we're going to the crowdfunding period of the show. So here's your warning. Let's see. Legionnaire. Just launched. Reminds you of the old Shadowrunner game. Oh, God, I don't remember the Shadowrunner game right offhand. I know what one you're talking about, but I never played it, so I can't talk about whether or not it's similar. I can only remember so many role playing games. Okay, Legionnaire, a supplement for Lancer RPG focusing on NHPs and related entities. So this is if you've got the Lancer role playing game, this is an expansion for it. Yeah, I do remember this. Okay, yeah. Because I think there's a Shadowrunner RPG as well, not just the one you're talking about on the SNES. Which that one was kind of based upon. They didn't have the rights to do Blade Runner, so. Oh, nice! That somebody in the chat has played Lancer. That is awesome. I gotta make sure I have both of my chats up, because I actually have people over on YouTube chatting as well. Because we stream to both now. So if you like the Lancer game and you want to expand upon it, it looks like it's actually well laid out and ready to go. So I like seeing Kickstarters and crowdfunding stuff that's already ready to go. Shadowrun SNES had a Genesis counterpart with a bad map of Seattle. Yeah, I actually remember that as well. Let's see, I wanted to actually see what this was. This is very strange. So, roulette dice, world's first dice you play like the roulette. So, it's got all the dice types you need. So you just put it on the table, spin it, and then it tells you what you got, or run it along the table. It's a neat idea. People have done stuff like this before. So you got the D20, the D8, the D10, the D12, D6, and D4. So you just got two windows on either side. It's a neat idea. I do know that some people probably wouldn't let you use this at your at your table. See if their video shows us a better usage of it. I can't tell whether it's two-sided or not, because some of their stuff doesn't make it look like it's two-sided. Well, your guys' stuff really hasn't been helpful. Oh. Okay, it does have two windows, one on either side. Redmond was where Tuckwell was. Yeah, I remember that map being totally messed up, but I didn't play that until I moved up here. So, I don't know, if you're into having something that's a dice that's not dice, this could be in your realm. This just made me giggle because they're putting it out now, basically, so you can have it for next year. But Fantasy Advent Calendar 2022. we're already in Advent calendar season, so yeah, it's a fidget spinner for dice. This is one of those. If you're going to do these, you do. If you're going to sell an Advent calendar at this time of the year, like on a website like this, either it's already got to be done, or it needs to be for next year. So, but I mean, the Advent is always 1 December through 25 December, so I guess it doesn't matter really. I guess technically, if it's something like this, it's reusable. So this one I just clicked on. I wanted to see what this was. I didn't look at this one yet. They're from France. I've never been to France. I've been through part of France, but I missed the France. High quality illustrations for your magic items and artifacts, monster eggs, potions, magic books, rings, necklace, wands, and armor. So, what you will get: 1,000 high quality PNG format, nice. AI made items, illustrations with varied elements and styles. Oh, they're AI made. And they're cool. I really dig some of these. But a little sad they're AI made. I mean, there's some really neat stuff in here. And currently, everything with AI, like nobody can copyright it. So once you get these, you can use them kind of for anything. You just have to denote images made by AI. There's some really cool stuff in there. I don't think they're looking for much. Let's see, Dice Tales, an action-packed, fast-paced role-playing game of pulp adventure. Splashback. My water got me. Sorry about that all. Evil DM Productions presents Dicey Tales. I do dig the cover. A winged werewolf thing. I guess it'd be like a man-bat. In June 2011, I published Dicey Tales as a digest-sized classic pulp expansion to Barbarians of Lumera, role-playing game by Simon Washburn. Simon and I have had early success with Legends of Steel expansion campaign setting. Now I would try my hand at classic pulp beyond the sword and sorcery genre. Do you have what it takes for adventures? Find out more inside Ghosts of Greenland. So I'm assuming it's still based on that original system, but it's 1930s Indiana Jones style. So $1 gets you supporter, $10 gets you the PDF, $15 gets you soft cover coupon, and $25 gets you the PDF and a hardcover coupon, and then they get a retailer backer. So they've kept it very simple, and it looks like they've passed their goal, and they've got nearly a month to go. So if you're out looking for a pulpy thing, and it looks like they've been making games for a while, so. Date Night Dungeons, White Wedding. You can see that cover art of some of the mags from the Spirit of the Century. Yeah. See, so this is an individual that has put out a few, but they do 2-player. So this is an adventure for 5th edition for a couple, which I think is kind of a neat idea. Because we're actually getting more requests for that stuff like this through the library, because we've got a lot of people that have got into role-playing games in the last few years, and it's been a big explosion. Awesome. But now you got some of those people that have grown up and are now have a kid, and they don't want to, they don't want to get a babysitter, and they don't want to disrupt their where they go game. So they're like, hey, we're gonna be good parents. We're gonna stand with the kid, but we still want to play. But we want to, what do we have out there for 2-player games? So it's awesome that people are putting stuff like this out. So this is for D&D 5th edition, 3.5, or Pathfinder. That's nice. I think it's pretty cool. And I absolutely support people doing stuff like this. So $7 gets you the PDF. That's not bad, really. And then you choose whether you're going to get 5th Ed, Pathfinder, or D&D 3.5. $15 gets you the printed of one of the three. And $20, 2 is a couple in 5th. You don't want to cut the book and maps and tokens out of your book. Get the printable PDF with it. So for $20, you get the black and white print copy of Wedding Night and the color PDF. So then you can print out all the maps and stuff. $25 gets you a special edition copy of the book, and a special edition has 10 maps in the handouts in color. Take them out during play to add something extra to your game. Oh, that's kind of so. I really like this. This is cool. We're seeing a big spike in a lot of people that have gotten into the past few years, and now they're in their mid to late 20s or early 30s that are now having families and want to be able to continue to play. Because I know through the 80s and 90s, I know lots of people that would once they had kids, they rarely played. Their family became their focus, which is the right thing to do. You still need to go out and have fun, but make sure your family's taken care of. You need to be there for your significant other, your kids. But stuff like this is allowing to keep that that itch scratched, and allows couples to play together, which can be super awesome. Beyond Flesh, 90s edginess without the clunkiness. 1 RPG book, 2 systems, 3 settings. This sounds like a whole lot of overhype. I don't know. So, and I say that I haven't seen anything. So, love their mediocre wargamer enthusiast role player. Total has been dead. So, first created third. They've backed 3. So, choice of 2 narrative-driven systems. Trophy, where everything comes at a cost, and then Powered by the Apocalypse, where moves keep the story going. A choice of 3 highly popular settings: vampire, magus, or occult. So that's kind of neat. They let you, So it seems a little less of an overachiever than I thought. So looks like this could be very, very doable. And fairly small book, very reminiscent of what's popular with these smaller zine-sized books. And looks like everything's basically ready to do. Nice. So, $48 gets you a digital copy and a physical copy. Wow. Oh, that was like $243. It gets you digital, physical, and your own portrait to illustrate this archetype. Okay. So the more expensive one gets you portraits, which is interesting. I always like when people add interesting things onto their Kickstarters. Let's see. Midwinter Vampires, a blood-sucking D&D 5e campaign. Hunt vampires in D&D 5e adventure for 3 to 5 players. So, This one actually looks like it's pretty nice, pretty well done. The art's really good, and it's compatible. It's 5e, so anybody can pick it up and play it. But looks like they're fairly long, far along in putting the game together. They look like they have their art and everything done, as long as it's not stolen art somewhere. Because I've run into ones like that, you're like, oh man, this looks completed, but they've got 7 other games they've created, and or this is their 7th, and they've backed a bunch. So, oh, that's actually pretty badass. Battle Spider Soldiers. I'll be honest, I would not want to run into that in the field. Backed another playmat this week. Uh-oh. World Builder imagery. Easily set up new worlds for your hero's next adventure. 200 plus PNG locations split into categories to build RPG, fantasy, medieval worlds. So. Quickly create worlds using our first pack of locations. 10 worlds, 40 continents, 30 archipelagos, 50 islands, 60 exterior locations, 10 battlefield / maps. It sounds like they've got a lot, but I don't know how this actually is laid out. Some gorgeous art. Joy Games Interactive. So, $15 gets you everything digital in PNGs. $50 gets you a commercial license. You receive all the content released in the Kickstarter with a lifetime license for you to use in your own commercial works. You do not receive the copyrights, but your permission to use the imagery pieces as if they were stock art. That's nice. That's it. It's just a boatload of maps and art pieces at not a horribly high price. So. Let's see. Tiny in the Tower, cozy fantasy role-playing. A standalone fantasy RPG presented as a pull-apart magazine, giving you everything you need to get right to the adventure. Adventure presents Tiny in the Tower. So it's a little standalone zine with the cat cracks me up. Oh, so your little adventures. I like that. Something's the myth of the village of Brackwood. It's up to your brave band of adventurers to go to the bottom of it. Get to the bottom, gather your players, and dive into this standalone adventure designed as a prologue to the main story that can be played in a single 3-hour session. Every backer of Tiny Tower gets immediate access to the digital copy of The Burglar of Brackwood, along with the rule sheet and characters, allowing you to play the game tonight. Backers at the all-in level also receive an exclusive physical copy of The Burglar of Brackwood. And then you've got a playthrough video. The mice dice, oh, they look like cheese. Oh, Rebellion Games. We all know Rebellion. I think the house cat is probably going to there to eat you, because it looks fairly large in comparison to the players. I mean, they're hiding behind a book, and here comes the cat. So, $12 gets you the digital edition, $15 gets you the physical edition, $25 gets you the all-in bundle, which is the physical copy, PDF copy, and the physical copy of the bonus adventure, and 6 custom mice dice, and the digital assets. That's actually not bad. $25 gets you a bunch of stuff, really. I'd be more worried about the freaking Praying Mantis. Those are far more scary to me. Dark Abyss. It's an underwater thriller scenario for tabletop RPG Shadows over Soul. So, if you know the game Shadows over Soul, this is a setting for playing underwater. I'm going to speed up because I need to save some of my voice. Let's see. Some of these are... Let's see. Amazing Adventures. It has 31 hours left over on Indiegogo. So this is this is a crazy thing. I talked about it a couple weeks ago, and it uses the Siege engine. It is really cool looking, and done a couple other games. This has a ton of stuff in it. You can play zombies and sci-fi and Old West and pulp, and anything is available in this setting, which is neat. If any of those interest you, or possibly playing all those together, this is on BackerKit, the big box of dungeon doors. This one, it kind of cracked me up because it's got 32 days left, but it's literally just you get some play mats and doors. Everything else is up to you, which I'm kind of cool with, because you get the play mats and then just gives you a wide variety of really cool doors to use. Does it say how many? It's a lot of 32 dungeon doors and 8 double-sided 11 by 17 maps. Yes, some player will want to tame a cat and mount it. I will 100% agree with that. So if you're looking for some battle maps and doors to go with it, well, there's something on BackerKit for you. And they've got 32 days left, and they're almost at their goal. So this is not an RPG, but this I think would be a cool MacGuffin if you're playing sci-fi RPG. So they've got 2 different size 3D etched balls with a cool black hole thing in it, and sometimes GMs want cool things to hand players. So they have these really cool, it's a black hole, and the small one is 69 euros, and the large one is 200 euros. Sounds expensive, but some people are willing to pay that to do something cool for their players to make them more immersive. I just wanted to talk about that one briefly. Hey, think outside the box of the cool stuff you can pick up to make stuff cooler for your players. Let's see, Humble Bundle. One of our favorite creators, Artel Sorian, has created this. This is on Humble Bundle, so for pay at least $18 for all 15 items. They give over here, 18, 25, whatever. You can get all the tons of stuff for Witcher, and then some of their other stuff for Castle Falkenstein. So they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's I think that's all 5 of the Witcher books. You got the core book, and then all 4 of the expansions. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 add-ons for Castle Falkenstein and the core book. And if you've not played Castle Falkenstein, you should. It's a lot of fun. It's a really interesting system. Mike Pondsmith did an awesome job on that. And then Lisa and Cody Pondsmith are the creators behind Witcher. Witcher uses the same core system as Cyberpunk Red, but it's been changed to be more fantasy friendly. And then our last thing. Oh, the only thing missing for Witcher is the easier mode. Yeah, I didn't see that on there. So it's almost everything for Witcher. Okay, 21 days to go for Heart in the City. So $17 gets you Heart, the City Beneath, Buried and Broken, Vermisian, Black Ops, and Spectrum, Doors to Everywhere. So, and it's a Diana Jones emerging designer. So you get actually a decent amount of stuff for for the game for $17. Let's see. Go to Spire. I know you already noticed the Shadowrun stuff, but it's not there yet. So Spire starter collection is $13. Gets you the Spire core book. Spire core book, Spire Strata, and 3 Spire campaign frames. Then if we go to all the way up to $20.70, you get all those, plus 11 single session Spire mini scenarios, Spire Black Magic, Codex of the Deep Spire, Book of Masks, The Mask Maketh the Elf, Secrets Kept from the Sun, and 7 Spire audio tracks. I like it when people throw in the... Yes, I sound like I had a rough weekend. I do. Level Up. The Level Up collection is $25. 3 Level Up core books. Level Up narrator screen, Memories of Holdenshire, and Gate Pass Gazette, issue 0. So you get the Adventures Guide, Trials and Treasures, and Monstrous Menagerie. So there's all your core books. Then you get the narrator screen, Memories of Holdenshire, and then the 0 issue magazine for doing cool little updates and stuff on the game. And that ends in 54 minutes. See, Shadowrun 16 days. Shadowrun 1st and 2nd edition mega. So Cyberpunk Magic Rules, Source, and Adventures from 89 to 1997. First edition collection is $20. So $20 gets you the first edition core book with that lovely Larry Ellison cover art. The 4 Shadowrun 1E expansions: Grimoire 1, Rigger Black Book, Shadowtech Virtual Realities 1.0, the Seattle Source Book, 6 Sixth World Setting Guidebooks, Corporate Shadowfares, NA Guide to North America, Paranormal Animals of North America, that's actually a really fun book, Seattle Source Book, Shadow Beat, and Sprawl Cities. Harlequin, that's a fun book as well, and Universal Brotherhood. And then for $43.50, nice. I love getting... I'll have to ban that spam bot. Yay! So if you go up to $43.50, you get all the first edition stuff, plus the second edition stuff. So came out in 92. Sounds like, oh yeah, there's a gap. There was only 18 months between first and second edition. They fixed a ton of stuff. All your first edition stuff is compatible with second edition, but yeah, it needed a lot of work. So you get the second ed core book. You get Cyber Technology, Fields of Fire, Rigger 2, Street Samurai 2nd Edition, Virtual Realities 2.0. Then you get Corporate Security, NA Guide to Real Life, Animals of Europe, also a really fun book. Portfolio of a Dragon, also a really fun book. Threats, Underworld Source book. And then Adazlon, California Free State, Germany, Smuggler's Haven, UCAS, Tirnanog, and Tirnagri. Huh. And then 5 Shadowrun 2nd Ed missions: Bug City, Harlequin's Back, Missions, Shadows of the Underworld, and Super Tuesday. Thank you for catching that, to Pulsar. Yeah, if you like the Shadowrun world at all, I would suggest picking this up. That gets you a ton of stuff, and all this stuff is really cool because it makes it you can go back and learn about the Shadowrun world from the get-go. And that a lot of that is really good info if you're into the Shadowrun stuff at all. It's really cool. See, Cornucopia 2022. So starter collection is $18. You get Wolves of the God, Jengashi. I'm definitely butchering that one. Wonder Home, this one's adorable. Relaxing animal RPG inspired by Redwall, Studio Ghibli, and Moonbeams. Then your bonus collection. So if you go to $36, You get the Viking Death Squad, which, I really want to play this. Arc Doom, Defiant RPG, and Hardwired Island, plus these 3. So, and that'll be the end of our show this week. I need to go rest my voice, because I do have to go to work tomorrow, but I'm probably going to be reading some zero level stuff, or some Mort Borg stuff, or going through a giant pile of business cards, because we met some amazing people. These are all people that want to talk to us, do stuff with us, or donated stuff to the library. So there's future interviews in here. There's opportunities to get product to help raise money for the library, and all kinds of fun stuff. I just got to stay on top of all this outreach now. Also, Drive Through RPG actually donated a bunch of books, and we may be getting a ton of older Drive Through RPG books soon. So keep in touch about that one. We're trying to work all that out, because we would love to slowly get all of the indie stuff that's come through Drive Through RPG over the years. But thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you had some fun. And I will be talking to you again soon. But till next time, the library is now closed. And happy holidays.